Here's another secret that scientists have recently discovered, and this is unexpected. It's good news about climate change and fire. But first we need to understand something about forests. They are made of carbon. It's the same carbon that creates climate change when it's in the atmosphere. But when it's in the forest, it does the opposite. You see, trees take carbon from the air, use it to grow, and then release the oxygen we breathe as a byproduct. Forests are always changing, and when trees die, some of the carbon is released very slowly back into the atmosphere. Now, here's the surprising part. Even though big clouds of smoke billow up from fires, the clouds are mostly water vapor, and only a small portion of the carbon stored in that forest is being released into the atmosphere. While it might be hard to believe, forest fires release less than 10% of the carbon stored in the forest during a big fire. And pretty soon after the fire goes out, the emerging young forest starts sucking that same carbon out of the air, turning it into plants, young trees, and needles and branches on the surviving trees, quickly making up for all the carbon that was lost in the fire. In fact, scientists recently found that this old forest is storing the same amount of carbon as this young one. Pretty amazing, huh? Here's the bad news. Forests stop storing carbon when people cut them down. That's because only a small portion of the carbon is stored when people log to make wood products. Let me tell you how it works. First, the trees are cut, branches removed, and put into big piles. Then, the piles are burned and the tree is milled, cutting off more parts of the tree and discarding them. Finally, it's made into products, most of which don't last long, like paper cups, magazines, and even shipping pallets. About 30% of the material taken from a forest ends up in long-lasting things, like homes. Around 70% is either made into non-durable products, burned, or discarded, or rots quickly because it's been chopped into small pieces which decay faster than a tree. Compare that to a burned forest that was not logged, and you can really see the difference. Just look at all that carbon in the standing dead trees. Many of them will take hundreds of years to fully break down, and much of that carbon is then stored in the soils. That's important because forests play a big role in addressing climate change, and fire is just another part of the forest.